Democratic brand right now has about the appeal with the American voter as the Cracker Barrel rebrand. With the American consumers, bad, bad, bad. What are you doing? Oh, my goodness, bad, bad, bad for the Democrats.
The Cracker Barrel rebrand. That's the appeal that the Democrat Party has. That's better than what I heard Jonathan Turley say this morning. Said that the mayor of Chicago, the Democrat mayor of Chicago, has the appeal of Ebola. Ebola. The horrible, dread, lethal disease out of Africa that, drains your body of all of its fluids and everything else that you really like. And you don't really notice till it wants to evacuate. A very good Monday to you and welcome. We remain at 888-630-9625. I want to talk to you today about the Democrat Party. You know, they come up a lot, don't they? Today, the hero of the Democrat Party today is an MS-13 member, a repeated wife-beating, baby mama beating, MS-13 gang member who the Democrat Party reveres. They are his champion, the entire Democrat Party. You got Democrat members of Congress out there like Glenn Ivey. They had a rally for him this morning in Baltimore for Kilmore Abrego Garcia. And they're fight for the away team, I guess, is the thing. And there was some pretty funny moments because he's got a skilled and talented and highly compensated attorney, of course, because they've got the backing of alien anti-American billionaires like George Soros, who are not here to help the United States of America, nor is the Democrat Party, for that matter. But the accidentally hilarious lawyer, is he came out and he said that because there's a possibility Abrego Garcia, after the rally the Democrats held for him this morning, he was taken into custody by Immigration and Customs Enforcement because of his status, his illegal status, and the many crimes that he's committed over time, human trafficking and wife beating and the restraining order and then the wife beating again. First time was baby mama, say, to be completely accurate. Second time was his wife because they got married in prison. He was in prison. She came there to marry him because, the generosity of women will never cease to amaze. Amazing things. We've got all this remarkable stuff going on, and the Democrats, they're champions of Kilmore Abrego Garcia. And we had Senator Chris Van Hollen went down to Salvador to sit in penitentiary with him and have a nice margarita. And they had a very nice time. And I don't think he speaks Spanish, does he? The senator from Van Hollen, I don't think he does. He no habla español. But he went down there to have dos más margaritas, por favor, y dos toallas. That's like poolside conversational Spanish for those who don't already know, and I think most of you probably do. Remarkable stuff. So Abrego Garcia, he showed up at his own rally where a Democrat, at least one member of Congress and lots of other Democrats, and his highly compensated lawyer is there. And he said, well, because there's a possibility that he's going to be deported. And they say, well, he can't be deported back to his home country of El Salvador because then the opposing gang, but you just said that he's not a gang member. And then out of the next sentence comes, well, the opposing gang will threaten him. He's in danger from the opposing gang. And you say, well, you just said he's not a gang member. Yeah, but they think he is because Republicans or something like that. Amazing stuff. So the United States cut deals with other countries that would accept people that we are deporting and if their home country is too dangerous for them. And why would we be taking in large numbers of people coming from a home country that's so dangerous that even their gang members aren't safe there? And the Democrats say, let's wave the gangs into the United States. And then when all the gang members leave El Salvador, then El Salvador will be safe again, right? Because all the gangs will be here. This is the Democrat Party's plan. But anyway, I digress. The lawyer said, because they're saying he can choose. They're giving Abrego Garcia and his team of lawyers, they're giving him options. They said rather than being sent back to his home country, which might be too dangerous even for him, Uganda in Africa. Now, who's got a place in Uganda? Mamdani has a place in Uganda, the Democrat communist jihadist that's running for mayor of New York as the Democrat Party's nominee to become the mayor of New York. His father, the college professor, is living in Uganda. He was just back there recently, and he had a fake wedding. Mamdani did, fake because they had already gotten married for whatever reasons. And then back to Uganda, where he has a secret place. He's got a secret place back there. And if it's nice enough for Mamdani, then it should be nice enough for Kilmore Abrego Garcia, the MS-13 gang member, because the Trump administration said one of the choices, and he can make a choice, you can go back to El Salvador, and if that's too bad for you because it's where you come from and people like you make it such an awful place, then you can choose to be deported instead to Uganda, where, Mamdani has family and has a place, and of course, they have armed guards around their walled properties with AK-47s and body armor and camouflage, because that's kind of how Democrats like to see the world, and communists, of course, which Mamdani is. But never mind that. So said, no, he can't be his lawyer. Back to his lawyer now. Said that he can't be deported to Uganda, and get this, you know why? Because he doesn't speak the language. I'm sorry, what? But then they gave Mamdani the microphone this morning at his own rally. And, then they gave Abrego Garcia the microphone at his own rally this morning.
Queridos hermanos y hermanas,
Wait a
mi nombre
minute.
es Kilmar Abrego García.
We don't want to send him.
Siempre quiero que recuerden que hoy
Kilmar Abrego
puedo decir
Garcia.
con orgullo
I like to beat my wife.
que estoy libre.
And it's very
Me reuní
liberating
con mi familia.
to beat my family. And that's it. But wait a minute. You don't want to send him to Uganda because he doesn't speak the language. Then he walks up to the podium and he demonstrates that it's the same is true here in the United States.
Preposterous that they would send him to Africa, to a country where he doesn't even speak the language.
To Africa, to a country where he doesn't even speak the language. But he's in the United States, which is a country where he doesn't even speak the language. See, the liberal brain is a demented place to be. It is a dangerous and a very silly place to be. That's your Democrat Party. Abrego Garcia is the hero of the day. They love Abrego Garcia, and they call him Kilmore because they know in the end that's what he represents, is Kilmore. Is he going to personally kill more? Maybe he's just going to traffic people into he was working trafficking people in the United States for 9 years, I think. 9 years as a human trafficker. And then met his baby mama, knocked her up, beat her. She got a restraining order. Then, because true love knows no bounds, she came to the prison and married him with bulletproof glass between them. And then he got out because Democrats, and then he beat her again once she was officially his wife. So he's a baby mama beater with a restraining order. And then they got married because true love. And then he beat the new wife, another restraining order. And then the video emerged of him being pulled over in Tennessee, where he had a vehicle, I think it was an SUV, with 9 illegal aliens in it that he was bringing up from Texas to Maryland. And all of this is just fine by way of the Democrat Party, and that means the news media as well, because about 98.77% of them represent the interests of the Democrat Party all day long, all day, every day. Isn't that amazing? In the meantime, if you are like President Trump, making an effort to fight crime and reduce murder in our big cities, then the Democrat Party is fighting against you. They're against you. You're fighting crime. Democrats are fighting you. And trying to clean up Washington, D.C., we had this a couple of weeks ago. 75 homeless encampments had been cleared out of Washington, D.C., and I have an update for you on that because there are, in fact, we just got a new update from the Attorney General of the United States a very short time ago, and they said first of all, there have been zero murders in Washington, D.C. since President Trump started his crime. They call it a crackdown. They love the word crackdown. I think it's because they all smoke crack. I think it's like a hoedown, which is another discussion altogether. And then there's the crackdown, and the Democrats love hoedown and a crackdown, don't they? It kind of depends on where they are with the hoedown, but isn't that amazing? They love murder. They love crime. The Democrats will fight you if you're fighting crime. The latest from the Justice Department within the last hour is there have been 1,007 arrests. 1,007 arrests. 111 illegal guns seized. That is, as of today, August 25th of 2025, more than 1,000 arrests, more than 100 illegal guns seized. Last night, another 86 arrests in Washington, D.C., including multiple suspects accused of assaulting law enforcement and assaulting National Guard, and a suspected Tren de Aragua gang member that's out of Venezuela. And the Democrats love Tren de Aragua. They love MS-13. They hate you and your children. They're violent, criminal, demented people. You know, they're the Democrats. Every day of our mission, we're making D.C. safe again. Attorney General Pam Bondi this morning with the latest statistics. And wait a minute, didn't we already ban guns in Washington, D.C.? That's kind of they're all illegal guns. They're not seizing any legal guns. But the Democrats, they're very, very unwell. And they think that wherever your children go, there should be mentally ill, drug-addicted, homeless people screaming in their faces and terrorizing your children because they're orienting your children to the future that the Democrats have envisioned for them. And that is a city full of, a country full of crazy, demented, drug-addicted, homeless people who are terrorizing them for their entire lives. That's the Democrat Party's plan. And the president is talking about going in and fighting crime in Chicago. And that has the Democrat mayor there furious. He's outraged. How dare you talk about fighting crime in Chicago? We love our murders in Chicago. They can't get enough murders in Chicago. They're working on. They're like, hey, crime is down. Yeah, now you're down to like 265 murders. Congratulations. 265 families. Maybe only 250 families, because sometimes the Democrats murder more than one family member at a time. Aren't they amazing? But the media and the Democrats, I repeat myself, very, very upset. President Trump suggests sending in the troops instead of joining Baltimore's safety walk. The Democrats have a safety walk. They've got a safety walk. That is, they got a pin holding up their diapers. It's a safety walk. Because that's the Democrats have been having safety walks for generations now. Yet the murder rate continues apace. The third world war zone murder rate. And that is Baltimore, Maryland. And they're like, oh, no, crime is down so much. We've only got, and then they don't give you a number of murders, but number of murders is huge. And they say it's not bad. You should just accept it, get used to it. We have. That's what the Democrats say. That's because your sons are the ones doing all the shooting. You should stop raising criminals. Just a thought. And the drug-addicted, mentally ill people that we've thrown out on the streets of American cities and suburbs alike. This is the Democrats' plan for dealing with mental illness and drug addiction, is to put them out on the streets to steal and scrounge and try to get enough to eat today and find a place to go to the bathroom and find a place to sleep, and then get up and do it all over again and steal and scrounge and beg, borrow, steal. And the Democrats want to see more of this, and eventually they die on the sidewalk, and then we come get their bodies and cremate them, because that's the Democrat Party's plan for mental illness and for drug addiction. The Trump administration in Washington said they're going out getting the homeless people and offering them treatment, right, for mental illness, for drug addiction, for alcoholism, and offering them shelters so they're not out on the street, because you do become a public nuisance and a blight, particularly when there are legions of them, armies of them, on the sidewalks and streets of Washington, D.C. So President Trump talking about fighting crime in Chicago, in Baltimore, in Washington. The Democrats are dead set against it, no matter what you're talking about, where you're talking about. And the governor of Maryland, who the Democrats want to run for president, he's in the news. President Trump brought Wes Moore, Democrat, Maryland Governor Wes Moore, brought him into the discussion. And apparently, have you heard the story of Governor Wes Moore's Bronze Star Medal from his time in the Army in Afghanistan decades ago? But when did he actually get? When was he awarded the Bronze Star Medal? That's kind of an interesting one. Yes, sir. And the Democrats very upset. Trump mobilizing up to 1,700 National Guard troops in 19 states, right, to widen law and order crackdown. Gee, I remember when Joe Biden called up 25,000 National Guard troops just for Washington, D.C. That was okay because Democrats, they're fine with this. We got a John Bolton update. The FBI and the news media very angry about John Bolton. They were fine with Mar-a-Lago being raided, but John Bolton's house in Montgomery County, Maryland, that is right out. That's not allowed. Isn't that great? Debbie Was-A-Man Schnitz is out there saying dumb things today, too. We are at 888-630-9625. Also, I want to tell you about a memorial service that my best girl and I went to yesterday in Virginia at a winery. And I want a sad story I want to share with you. But right now, let's go to the telephones. We're talking about a sad story called the Democrat Party. They love crime and murder and illegal alien gang members, and they don't like America. And they like to throw mentally ill, drug-addicted people out on the sidewalk until they die because then Democrats feel good about themselves. Let's go to Charlie calling from DeLand, Florida. Charlie, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Mr. Plant, good morning and happy Monday.
Happy.
So over the weekend, I was watching YouTube, and there was an attorney that was speaking about the truck driver that was down here that killed those 3 people. So he couldn't read the sign then. He was doing a UE on I-95, I believe it was, or the Turnpike. So back in 2019, January 30th, 2019, this same truck driver, he couldn't read the sign in Ola, Arkansas. So he drove a 40-ton semi-truck full of chicken over a 6-ton bridge and crushed the bridge. And he wasn't hurt, but the state of Arkansas was suing him and the trucking company based out of Bakersfield, California, U.S. City Link Corp. in Yell County in Arkansas. So he drove this truck onto the bridge. The bridge collapsed, and it took them forever for them to repair the bridge. So all the people that lived there that used this bridge, they had to go way out of their way, 12 miles out of their way, just one way. And one more thing I wanted to bring up. What about the aiding and abetting laws? All these governors and mayors, isn't there a law about aiding and abetting, harboring fugitives? They should be held accountable for this kind of stuff.
There, you just used the A word there. That should be a very talked about word, accountability. Interesting idea. All right, a fun conversation with Charlie calling from Florida. And I looked up the story, and it turns out, Charlie, there's some debate. There's a lot of debate about this, about whether the Harjinder Singh illegal alien California certified commercial driver's license big rig driver who is responsible for 3 Americans being killed in a car crash in Florida, is he the same Harjinder Singh big rig driver that destroyed a bridge in Arkansas in 2019? That's the question. There may be a crime wave of illegal alien truck drivers named Harjinder Singh. So for right now, we're going to have to tap the brakes, if you will, and not allow any people named Harjinder Singh to drive big rigs. Here's the thing. The Florida truck crash. Family of Indian origin Harjinder Singh urges mercy. They want mercy because, who are you to? It's come on, for Pete's sake. Now let me share with you and here's another thing. Democrats, millions of Democrats have lined up to sign a petition in support of the illegal alien truck driver that killed 3 Americans. Literally millions of Democrats have signed up in support of. All right? And the petition is quite amazing because it's a left-wing outfit, naturally. Change.org. They want to change the world from a civilized place to a death cult, hot war everywhere you look. Now, the Change.org commute sentence for Harjinder Singh, a Sikh victim of circumstance. He is the victim here. You see, he's the victim. He's not the illegal alien who couldn't pass the test in California. Charlie mentioned this too, whether the governor of California and the Democrats in California that made it okay to give commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens that don't speak English, can't read signs, can't pass the test that any white guy from California would have to pass, or he would be denied a commercial driver's license. But the Democrats are nothing if not racist. Now, this petition, and this is the Change.org people, this petition is very close to my heart because it represents the Sikh community. That's got nothing to do with anything. But never mind that. That's the Democrat Party. And the Sikh community, I don't think, wants to lay claim to the guy either. A community that is much larger than many realize. That's not important. Not only in the USA, but all around the world. That's not important either. Sikhs have been making significant contributions in the United States for decades with air travel and curing cancer and things like that. Wonderful. Couldn't be nicer. I'm sure that's true. I've always, Sikhs are fun and they're interesting, and there are a bunch in Washington, D.C., and have been for a long time. And it's fun. All the men carry knives. It's part of a cultural thing. But never mind that. Unfortunately, after recent incidents, people wearing turbans are often unfairly judged and treated with suspicion or hatred. Democrats hate everyone. They just love to spread the word hatred everywhere they go. A turban is not a symbol of hate, no, but the Democratic Party logo is. That's for sure. And it's true that the Sikh symbol is not. It's not a hate cult. It's not a death cult. It's none of those things. They're great. Harjinder Singh, a 28-year-old Punjabi Sikh man. It's always fun to say Punjabi, don't you think? Punjabi. You just want to write a song when you hear the word Punjabi because it rhymes with Punjabi, so you just use it over and over again, I think. Punjabi Sikh man was involved in a tragic accident on the Florida Turnpike in South Florida. It was not a deliberate action with malicious intent, but a devastating accident resulting from a U-turn gone wrong. Yeah, right as he went around the U-turn sign. It's almost amazing he didn't run over and crush the no U-turn sign where he was doing a U-turn because he didn't pass the tests in California. 12 questions, he answered 2 of them, failed to answer the other 10. And he couldn't read the signs, and he can't read English. And they said, what the hell? What's the worst thing that could happen? Let's give him a commercial driver's license. So they did. And that's what the Democrats do. Now, these dimwits at Change.org, left-wing radicals, they love death more than you love life. They're being followed by the real news media, too, like the New York Post. Petition supporting illegal migrant trucker accused of killing 3 people gets 2.2 million signatures. 2.2 million signatures. That was as of yesterday before lunch. And the Democrats, more than 2 million people, all of them Democrats, have signed a petition calling for leniency for an Indian illegal migrant trucker accused of killing 3 people in a crash in Florida. Harjinder Singh, 28 years old, faces 3 charges of vehicular homicide and is up to 45 years in prison after he allegedly pulled an illegal U-turn on the Florida Turnpike on August 12th while driving a tractor-trailer that he shouldn't have been driving in the first place. 6 years after he entered the U.S. illegally, and he entered the U.S. illegally coming across the southern border from Mexico. Since his arrest in California, 2.2 million people have signed a Change.org petition calling for Florida Governor Ron DeSantis to commute Singh's sentence if he gets convicted. He hasn't been convicted of anything. They just love murder and death and mayhem and crime and illegal aliens and, illegal immigration. You know what about illegal immigration? Illegal immigration, as I understand it, is illegal. And the people at Change.org, they've got millions of Democrats supporting them because they love crime and murder and mayhem. And if Americans are being killed, then the Democrats support it.
Illegal immigration is illegal.
As I understand it, that is true. But the Democrats, they're angry. 45 years imprisonment. Is it fair for a young boy? He's a young boy at 28 years old, who left his home country to have a bright future, support family, a second. It's amazing. They love crime, death, mayhem, Americans being killed. Like, how can we get more of this? Well, you fight for more illegal aliens who don't speak English to be. Maybe you should give them airline pilot licenses. How about that? What's the difference? Doesn't matter at all. Now, let me get back to what Charlie was talking about, calling from Deland, Florida, because there's more to the story than that. There's this crazy Arkansas story as well, and the claim is Charlie saying there's another guy with the same name, believe it or not, Harjinder Singh, who collapsed a bridge in Arkansas driving an 18-wheeler, and it looks like you have the same name. You're driving trucks. You cause mayhem in Arkansas, collapsing a bridge in Arkansas. And then you're in Florida doing an illegal U-turn and cause the deaths of 3 people in a minivan that we hear nothing about. You know, it's not like they're George Floyd or somebody important. So why would we know their names? Why would the media follow them and turn them into the heroes of the Democrat Party? They're just the people that were killed. Was it a family? Was it grandma and mom and the little girl? We don't even know, because the Democrat Party. But here's the thing about this: the Arkansas crash is a truck driver collapsing the bridge is a truck driver named Harjinder Singh, and there are articles online saying it's a completely different Harjinder Singh that collapsed the bridge in Arkansas. How could you think it was the same Harjinder Singh when there are so many Harjinder Singhs driving 18-wheelers across the country? Isn't that amazing? The Democrats are insane and violently, criminally so, and they like death and mayhem and bloodshed because they're the left. They're not liberals. CNN last night with the Associated Press. Truck driver accused by the Trump administration of being in the U.S. illegally is denied bond. What do you mean accused by the Trump administration? See how CNN immediately frames it as a political fight between Trump and Democrats who have already shot him once and tried to shoot at him a second time? A truck driver accused of making an illegal U-turn. Now he's not. Now he may or may not be in the country illegally. He may or may not have done an illegal U-turn. Here's the picture of the sign that he almost ran over saying no U-turn right here, with the truck crashing into him, and his expression didn't even change when the 3 people were killed. The crash sparked a clash between the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and California Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom over Harjinder Singh, a native of India, obtaining a work permit, illegal alien, and driver's license, illegal alien, and that's not. CNN says a driver's license for a big rig for an 18-wheeler in the state. The Trump administration says Singh is in the country. Actually, they say was in the country illegally. I think he would still be in the country illegally, wouldn't he? Isn't that amazing? Now let's go. We have a secretary of the Department of Transportation who is, not the last guy who nobody cared about. But the new guy is Sean Duffy. He used to be a member of the House of Representatives, and he was asked about the Harjinder Singh and the 3 dead Americans in Florida.
They gave him a full-term CDL. That's reserved for American citizens, to which he is not an American citizen. And we put out a rule, by the way, just backing up a little bit, Trey, in May that says if you got a CDL, you have to speak the language and understand road signs. That went into full force and effect in June. In July, this guy was pulled over in New Mexico and for speeding, and they did nothing to take him out of service.
Well, why would that be a problem? So we've got illegal aliens that don't pass the tests and are given commercial driver's licenses by the state of California because Democrats, and they're motoring all over the country, and nobody's stopping them. And now, how many Harjinder Singhs are there illegally in the country driving big rigs. It's hard to say, but Harjinder Singh is, we got one of them off the road, I guess. Yeah, and the Arkansas Democrat Gazette with the headline from 3 days ago. Trucker who collapsed Arkansas Bridge in 2019, not the driver accused in Florida deaths, company official says. Well, if you can't believe the company official, who can you believe, honestly? And the headline, the lead sentence, there are at least 2 truck drivers named Harjinder Singh. Sure. Were they both illegally given driver's licenses by the state of California to drive 18-wheelers? Hard to say. And they say that the 2 Harjinder Singhs have different ages. One is 28 and one is 35. And now, is it possible that the guy who didn't pass the test, who came into the country illegally, who's running people over and not changing his facial expression, is it possible that he fibbed about his age in one instance, too? Because this bridge collapse in Arkansas that was referenced by Charlie calling from Florida, kind of a big deal, too. And the Democrats are all over this. There are at least, this is another effort by the Democrats, there are at least 2 truck drivers named Harjinder Singh. One is accused of making an illegal U-turn on Florida's Turnpike August 12th, causing a crash that killed 3 people that we hear nothing about because they're not George Floyd. The other followed GPS directions, not his fault, you see, down a 1-lane dirt road in Yell County, Arkansas in 2019, causing a historic bridge over the Petit Jean River to collapse when he tried to drive a tractor-trailer rig across it because the bridge couldn't take the weight of the 40-ton truck or whatever it was he was driving. Isn't that amazing? So now they're saying the trucker who collapsed another Harjinder Singh driving another 18-wheeler, collapsing a historic bridge in 2019. Here's a picture of the 18-wheeler down in the river with the collapsed bridge beneath it. And they're saying this is just some other Harjinder Singh driving some other 18-wheeler. Pay no attention to any of this. All right. This is the Democrat Party turning America into a third world country. This is the Democrat Party. Mayhem, anarchy, violence, death, blood. And then 2 million of them sign a petition saying, be nice to him. All right, let's go to, I've got one more, don't I? I've got one more, I apologize. The Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy.
We tested him after the crash. He failed. Full stop. Failed. Couldn't speak the language. Couldn't understand road signs. And New Mexico should have put his vehicle out of service. And had they, we would have saved those 3 lives. Again, we're going to come out next week with some more news on this. But the bottom line is, follow the rules of DOT in your state, or there will be serious consequences.
You know, we keep having to tell you about those consequences thing for Democrats everywhere you look. Well, sure, he can't read. He doesn't understand English. He doesn't know what the street signs mean. He's running over a no U-turn sign while he's doing U-turn that killed 3 Americans. And more than 2 million Democrats sign on to a left-wing petition saying, oh, for God's sake, let him go. Be generous to him. They like to let everybody go. Except, Donald Trump and anybody that worked for him, like the fascists that they are. We're at 888-630-9625.
I'm a victim of circumstance.
Turns out that Mr. Singh, who's allegedly 28 years old or 35 years old, had his brother with him in the truck when the 3 Americans were killed. And his younger brother, 25 years old, Harneet Singh, also in the country illegally. Also an illegal alien driving with his brother, touring the country, killing people and Democrats. And now there are 2.5 million Democrats that have signed the petition to free Mr. Singh because he's the victim of circumstance or something Three Stooges like. Isn't that amazing? Also, a police officer, a friend of mine, asks the question, hey, where were all these cries for mercy and the petition signed by 2.5 million Democrats when a United States Marine Corps veteran named Daniel Penny accidentally killed a crazy, psychotic, mentally ill New York guy on a subway train who was terrorizing and threatening to kill old ladies on the subway train. And Daniel Penny tried to stop bad things from happening, accidental death. Democrats wanted to lynch him from a lamppost in Central Park. But now, aren't they amazing? Let's go to the telephones, Michael. Let's go to Dave calling from Silver Spring, Maryland. David, you're on the Chris Plante Show.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Dave.
We've talked about how the Democrat Party has been pulled to the radical left, and we've talked about how we're trying to get a bead on who these people are. Well, I think we're starting to get a bead on them. These 2.5 million people, they're the poorly educated, hate-filled, anti-American people that are dragging the remaining 60 million Democrats to the left. And the Democrats, now that we know who these people are, getting an idea of who they are, we should be wary of them. I think we ought to just round up everybody who signed that petition and deport them to India with Sundar Singh.
I got to tell you that I've been saying it for a long time now, Dave. They're not liberals. They're the left. And even Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says that his father and his uncle, John F. Kennedy, the president, shot in the head by a communist, maybe a communist working for the CIA. Who can say? Because they still haven't clarified. But he said that his father and his uncle would not recognize today's Democrat Party. And I know my mother, my dear departed mother, a wonderful American, would not recognize today's Democrat Party either. They're undemocratic. Sorry, go ahead.
We should publish the names and addresses of all 2.5 million so we know who these animals are that are living among us.
Dox them. Now, they started the practice of doxing people. They like to dox federal agents, which is why federal agents now wear masks to conceal their identities from the left, because the left, that is to say, the violent gang of criminals we call the Democrat Party, threatening and, shooting people. They're not just threatening. They shot President Trump, tried to shoot him again, shot Congressman Steve Scalise, tried to mow down the whole baseball team of Republicans. The Democrat Party, a Democrat campaign volunteer shot Martin Luther King and killed him. A communist shot and killed John F. Kennedy.